Imagine you finally start making $300,000 a year. Nice house, 2 cars in the driveway, kids in every activity, dinners out on weeknights. From the outside, you've made it. Then you suddenly need $5,000 and can't find it without borrowing or selling something. This isn't some bizarre outlier. In the United States, roughly 4 in 10 people earning between $300,000 and $500,000 a year say they live paycheck to paycheck. Among people making more than $500,000, it's over 40%. The obvious reaction is, well, they must be reckless. They make plenty of money. They just can't manage it. Except they're perfectly capable of doing the math. That's by design. A $300,000 salary doesn't make you rich. It makes you the most profitable customer in the room. So I'm going to follow one of those paychecks, find every place the money quietly leaks out, and show you who's there to catch it. The first leak is the one you never chose. The floor under your life simply moved up. Goldman Sachs compared the share of income going to basic obligations now with the share in the year 2000. In the United States, housing went from 21% of income to 36%. Childcare went from 10% to 25%. Private college went from 9% to 33%. Healthcare went from 12% to 33%. Put that together. The things you can't simply walk away from, a roof, your kids, medical care, education, are taking roughly twice the share of your paycheck they did 20 years ago. You didn't suddenly start living like royalty. Normal life just got much more expensive. Now look at who's catching the money on the other side. Every extra percentage point added to a necessary expense becomes somebody else's revenue. Those percentages are American. The race is not. Almost everywhere, housing, childcare, education, and healthcare are rising faster than paychecks. You didn't get a raise. They raised the rent on your life. But the rising floor is only half the problem. Then the selling starts. The moment your income goes up, a line forms. Not to congratulate you, to make you an offer. The bank approves a bigger mortgage. The dealership stretches the car loan. New pre-approved limits appear on your credit cards. And every offer comes with the same little slogan, you've earned it. Here's the trick. Your spending doesn't rise because you suddenly lost all self-control. That rise in spending is a product sold to you at the exact moment you're most vulnerable. Right after a raise, wrapped in the story that you can finally relax. Goldman Sachs points to the same forces behind high earners living paycheck to paycheck, keeping up with the Joneses, and yesterday's luxury quietly becoming today's necessity. And this isn't only about houses and cars. Even near the top 36% of American cardholders earning more than $100,000 carry a credit card balance from month to month. Bankrate reported that in 2025, these are people who look like they could pay off the balance in one tap. And they don't. Your raise never really became yours. 3 lenders had already written their names on it before it reached your checking account. Fine, a bigger house and a new car are at least visible. The next leak hides inside purchases too small to feel dangerous. You get sold one simple idea. Your time is too valuable to cook, wait in line, or drive yourself. Fair enough. So, dinner arrives by itself. Your ride arrives on demand. Your subscriptions renew by themselves. The American financial services company Empower calculated how much people spend on these conveniences each month. Food delivery, $179, up 10% in a single year. Streaming subscriptions, about $30, up another 12%. Rideshare, $119, up 8%. Each charge looks harmless on its own. That's the design. But $179 a month on food delivery is more than $2,000 a year that simply disappears. Put that same money to work across your career at 7% a year, and by retirement, it stops being a couple $1,000s. It becomes tens of thousands. They didn't sell you laziness. They sold you the idea that your time was too expensive to cook, then billed you for every minute they supposedly saved. Those dollar amounts are American. The convenience meter is running everywhere. Same delivery apps, same ride-hailing apps, same subscriptions quietly renewing in the background. Alright, say you catch those charges and rein them in. There's another leak, and this one lives inside your head. You don't compare yourself with reality anymore. You compare yourself with the feed. And everyone in the feed always seems to live one level above you. So someone earning in the top 5% can still feel behind because they're looking at the top 1% and a carefully edited highlight reel. Every year, the American brokerage firm Charles Schwab asked people how much money they need to feel financially comfortable and how much it takes to count as wealthy. In 2025, Americans said they needed $839,000 just to feel financially comfortable. A year earlier, $778,000 was enough. To count as wealthy, the number was 2.3 million. And 63% said it now takes more money than it did the year before. See what happened? The finish line where you're finally allowed to exhale moves farther away, just as you reach it. That isn't an accident. The feed sells you the gap. The poorer you feel, the more you buy. Your dissatisfaction is their advertising revenue. You're not chasing wealth, you're chasing a finish line that moves back one step every time you get close. But this race comes with another cost, and it never appears on a bank statement. You're not only spending today's money, you're trading away tomorrow's freedom. When a lender says you can afford a more expensive house, they're not looking at how much cash you have. They're looking at what you're likely to earn over the next 20 years and letting you spend part of it today. The mortgage, 2 cars, school, insurance, none of it was bought only with paychecks you've already earned. Those are workdays, bonuses, and years of your life you've already borrowed from your future self. As long as the paycheck keeps landing, that looks like wealth. Now, let that paycheck stop for 6 months. In the United States, Bureau of Labor Statistics figures show that in 2025, people whose last jobs were in management, business, or finance were unemployed for an average of about 24 weeks, nearly half a year. Your mortgage, school bill, and car payments do not take a sabbatical. If that lifestyle costs $15,000 a month, 6 months without work creates a hole of almost $90,000. That's the real high-income trap. The more you earn, the more of tomorrow's income they can sell you today. And now the strangest part, why all that money can leave you feeling poorer than the neighbor with the old car. Because people who are actually wealthy look nothing like the rich people in your Instagram feed. The American personal finance host Dave Ramsey surveyed more than 10,000 American millionaires. Nearly 80% received no inheritance. 94% live on less than they make. About 3/4 have never carried a credit card balance in their lives. They drive older cars and live in ordinary neighborhoods. And the 3 most common careers among them: engineer, accountant, and teacher. Not exactly the flashiest salaries. And suddenly, the whole thing makes sense. Every leak in this story has the same job. Weld your spending to your income until there's no gap left between them. Because that gap is the only money the machine can't reach. Everything else has already been claimed. To see the size of it, go back to that $300,000 income. Invest 30% for 20 years at 7% a year, and you end up with almost $4 million. Invest only 5%, as most people do, and you get roughly $600,000. The difference is more than $3 million. And that isn't a medal for willpower. It's the amount the machine quietly captured while you were busy feeling broke. The good news is almost embarrassingly simple. Once you can see the leaks, they stop being invisible. You can move that gap somewhere safe on the same day the money arrives, before any of those hands can reach it. So go back to the $5,000 from the opening. Now it's just there. No borrowing, nothing to sell. For the first time, it isn't your lifestyle that looks rich. You are. On this channel, I break down how money quietly leaks out of your pocket and who profits from it. If this was useful, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.